Hello students, myself Rakesh Kumar, PGT Chemistry, Government Model Sanskriti, Senior Secondary School, Dholera, Jilla Nayagarh, Haryana. Students, in earlier lecture, we were discussed about Unit 3rd, which is Electrochemistry. In last lecture, we discussed about redox reaction. In last lecture, we learned that how we can find out the oxidation and reduction process, also oxidized and reduced substance in a chemical reaction. Now, today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is galvanic cell, which is also called voltaic cell. In today's lecture, we will discuss construction and working of galvanic cell along with salt base. Let's start. Galvanic cell. Galvanic cell it is also called voltaic cell. Before starting this important topic, we have to learn some important definitions. What are these definitions? First, what is cathode? In terms of galvanic cell, cathode will be the electrode where reduction occurs. The electrode where reduction occurs. That electrode is said to be cathode. Similarly, its opposite, anode. What will be the anode? The electrode at which oxidation occurs. That is called anode. Oxidation occurs. These two words, cathode and anode, are repeated during this chapter. So, when anybody wants to know cathode and anode in context with the galvanic cell, the electrode where reduction occurs. What is reduction? As we discussed earlier, the electrode where reduction occurs is said to be cathode, and the anode, if the oxidation occurs, the electrode at which oxidation occurs. Oxidation means loss of electron. The electrode where loss of electron occur. You should keep in mind, loss of electrons occur. That electrode is said to be anode, and cathode, the electrode at which reduction occur, means gain of electrons. Gain of electrons. So you have to find out the electrodes where electrons are lost or gained, and your answer should be clear. If gain of electrons occurs at any electrode, that will be cathode. If loss of electrons occurs at any electrode, that is called the anode. Okay. Now, two terms are here also important. What are these two terms? Number 3, electrolytic cell. Because many students have always doubt in their mind about electrolytic cell or galvanic cell. They can't differentiate even after completing the chapter which one is electrolytic cell and which one is electrochemical cell. So you have to keep in mind these two definitions. Electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell. electrolytic cell, the cell in which electrical energy is changed into chemical energy. Listen again. The cell in which electrical energy is changed into electrical energy is changed into chemical energy. Chemical energy means in electrolytic cell we have to provide electricity first of all. Then what happens? With the help of that electricity, a chemical reaction occurs. If chemical reaction occurs, it forms chemical energy. It should be very clear in mind. Okay? What is the electrolytic cell? The cell in which electrical energy, in short, EE means electrical energy, it changed into CE means chemical energy. You should always be kept in mind. If this process is occur in any cell, that cell is called electrolytic cell. Okay, that topic will be discussed later in another lecture of this chapter. Okay, now another important definition is galvanic cell. Galvanic cell or voltaic cell. What is galvanic cell? Just refers to the electrolytic cell. The cell in which chemical energy is changed into electrical energy means in which chemical energy is changed into electrical energy. Very simple definition of the galvanic cell is the cell in which or the device in which chemical energy means chemical reactions occurs first and then as a result of the chemical reaction electricity is produced means chemical energy CE is here converted into means chemical reaction will form the electrical energy EE electrical energy. In short, you should always be kept in mind chemical energy if changed into electrical energy. We can say after completion the chemical reaction if electricity is produced, that is called galvanic cell or voltaic cell. Now we are going to discuss the galvanic cell in detail. Galvanic cell, first of all, the definition of galvanic cell. Definition: the device in which chemical energy is changed into electrical energy. The device in which chemical energy is changed into electrical energy is known as galvanic cell. Regarding galvanic cell, one point is very important. That point is spontaneous. spontaneous redox reactions occur. Redox reactions occurs. Or we can say delta G always be negative. Delta G means Gibbs free energy will always be negative for galvanic cell. So if we want to know the definition from you of the galvanic cell, then your answer will be the device in which chemical energy change to the electrical energy. What happens during the reaction? Always spontaneous redox reactions occur. And delta G will be negative. Now let us see the composition and working of the galvanic cell. First of all, we are going to discuss composition of galvanic cell. Galvanic cell composed by the three parts. One is cathode, another is anode, and third one is salt bridge. Salt bridge. Now we are going to discuss each of these three. What is cathode? What is anode in a galvanic cell? What happens? Working means what happens at the cathode and anode? And third one is salt bridge. What is salt bridge and what are its role? First of all, we are going to discuss the composition, or we can say the structure of the galvanic cell. How the galvanic cell be represent. That is the diagram for galvanic cell. Here is a one container, okay, and we took the another container. That is the another container. One container is towards our left hand side. That is in our left hand side. Okay, and another container is towards right hand side. That is towards right hand side. Okay, now towards the left hand side we have to take the substance or metal rod at which oxidation occur. For example, here I took a metal rod. That rod is made up of zinc, Zn. What will happen with zinc? It loses electrons. If electrons are loose, that process is said to be oxidation. So here oxidation occur. Oxidation occur means we have to take an electrode which is made by the metal which loses electrons. Okay, and if the metal loses electrons, that is called the oxidation. Okay, so oxidation, container which is towards the left side will be oxidized, or oxidation process occurs at that electrode. After taking the zinc as electrode, we have to fill its salt solution. Whose salt solution? The metal whose electrode are taken. Here we took a zinc, and now we have to take the salt of zinc, that is zinc sulfate. So here we took zinc sulfate, ZnSO4, zinc sulfate. The container is here filled with zinc sulfate and zinc rod is dipped in it. Is always taken towards the left hand side because zinc is going to here. What process will be here? Zinc loses its electron to change into zinc 2 positive ions along with two free electrons. Here zinc loses the electrons and change into the zinc 2 positive ion should always be taken as left hand side electrode, or we can say here oxidation occur, because what is oxidation? Oxidation is loss of electron. So metal zinc is here lose electrons. But in case of right hand side container, we took another metal. Here another metal is the metal which gains the electron. Means reduction occur here. Reduction occur here. Gains the electron. For example, we took here the electrode of copper rod, which is dipped into its salt solution, like copper sulfate, that is CuSO4, copper sulfate, that will be aqueous. Similarly, here zinc sulfate will be in aqueous form. Okay, so we have here two parts of a one cell. So each part is said to be half cell. That is the half cell where oxidation occurs, and that is the another half cell where reduction occurs. Now what happens at the electrode of the copper? Here copper 2 positive ions, which comes from the aqueous copper sulfate, gains the electrons and change into copper metal. Okay, here gains of electrons occur, so that electrode is said to be reduced electrode, or we can say reduction process will be occur here. Now we have to join these two electrodes with the help of bulb, that is the bulb. To see that what happens when these two electrodes are combining, is there electricity produced? Because we know that galvanic cells are those cells in which chemical energy is changed into the electrical energy. To see that, we have to join the bulb along with these two electrodes. That electrode is called anode. One more thing is here, and the another electrode where reduction occur is called the cathode. As we discussed earlier, cathode in terms of the galvanic cell, cathode is the electrode where reduction takes place, as earlier discussed, and if the oxidation occurs at the electrode, that electrode is said to be anode. Now another important thing is that we know that zinc is produced electron here, so this electrode gets negative charge, negative electrode. You are familiar that the electrode which is connected to the negative terminal is known as cathode. That is also right, but in case of galvanic cell, what is the anode? The electrode at which negative charge is present, or we can say produced. The electrode where negative charge is produced, here electrons are produced by the zinc, so electrons are there on that electrode, so that electrode is said to be here negative electrode, and negative electrode is called anode. Okay, in context with the galvanic cell, remember always, in context with the galvanic cell, what is anode? The negative terminal of the cell is called the anode, at which oxidation occurs. Just opposite to it, what is cathode? Here copper sulfate dissociated into copper 2 positive ion and sulfate 2 negative ions. So here copper 2 positive ions are present. So at this electrode positive charge is there. In in contact with galvanic cell, what is cathode? The cathode at which positive charge is present, and we can say the reduction occurs. That electrode is called cathode if it always contains positive charge. It is just reverse to the electrolytic cell. Now, the main things of the galvanic cell is here. Oxidation occurs at anode, always taken towards the left hand side. It contains negative charge. To learn it easily, there is a short form. What is short form? For left hand side, we have to take L. Okay, and oxidation occurs here. So we have to take an O from oxidation. L taken from the left hand side and O taken from the oxidation. And it is known as anode, taken as A. And it has negative charge, negative N. So ln. If we learn about the galvanic cell, we have to keep always in your mind ln. L for left hand side, O for oxidation. The electrode which is taken as left hand side always be oxidized, or oxidation will be occur there. And what is the name of that electrode? That is anode. What will be charge on that electrode? That is negative charge. So ln should be kept in your mind always. Similarly, if we want to learn about the cathode, then its short form will be R. R means right hand side, and always occurs here reduction, taken again R, and that R is produced positive charge, which is known as cathode. So taken as cathode, C and positive charge, RRCP. That will be short form for right hand side cathode electrode. Okay, now you have to always keep in mind ln and RRCP. Now, what happens when these electrodes are just dipped into their respective salt solution? Example, zinc is dipped into the zinc sulfate. What happens? Then zinc loses its electron to change into the zinc ion, and electrons will be free. These electrons are available here, anode. So these electrons are just starting from here, electrons, E for electrons. And here what happens? Copper sulfate is dissociated into Cu. And what happens to the zinc sulfate? Zinc sulfate is here dissociated into zinc to positive ion and sulfate to negative ion. Zinc to positive ion, sulfate to negative ions are formed here in the electrolyte. In case of right hand side cathode, what happens? Copper sulfate is dissociated into copper to positive ion, sulfate to negative ions. These copper to positive ions are available here at the cathode. So it contains the positive charge, because copper to positive has positive charge. So this electrode has positive charge, and positive charge always attracts negative charge. So the electrons available here at the anode are attracted by the cathode. So these electrons are just starting from the anode and passing through the bulb and goes to the cathode. If electrons are passed through the bulb, or electrons are in motion, that is known as electricity. So here bulb starts glow. Means when reaction occur at anode and cathode, electrons are released from anode and just travels towards the cathode. When these electrons are traveled, they pass through the filament of bulb and bulb starts glow. What happens after 3 or 4 minutes? That bulbs doesn't glow. it doesn't produce light. Why? What happens? These electrons are just released by the zinc. Listen carefully. The electrons released by the zinc are just passing through the bulb and goes to the cathode. So here what happens? Zinc ions are formed continuously. After losing the electrons, zinc ions are formed. So here many zinc ions are there. Zinc ion, zinc ion, zinc ion. Large number of zinc ions are there in the electrolyte. So the amount of positive charge here increases and negative charge decreases because sulfate ions are not formed. So what happens here? The amount of positive ions, we can say the zinc ions, is here greater, or we can say the concentration is increases here of the zinc ions as compared to sulfate to negative ions. Negative ions are in lesser amount, but the positive charged zinc ions are so many ions. So amount, or we can say the concentration of zinc ions here increases. If zinc ions concentration increases, what happens? Zinc ions concentrated means zinc ions amount increases means it do not lose electrons easily, because electrons contains negative charge and zinc ions contain positive charge. If here accumulation of positive charge occur at the electrode of the zinc ions, then they attract the electrons in the reverse direction. They do not allow to pass that electrons through the wire. So there will be no current flow because electrons are not freed. They are just attracted towards the zinc ion. Similarly, what happens during the cathode? When these copper 2 positive ions just gain the electrons continuously, which are coming from these wires, from this wire, what happens? Copper ions, after gaining the 2 electrons, change into the copper. So the concentration of positive ions here decreases because copper ions just gains the electrons, change to the neutral copper. So there is no positive charge. If there is no positive charge, whose concentration increases? Here the amount of sulfate ion increases. So copper 2 positive ions concentration here decreases as compared to the sulfate 2 negative ions. Have you got it? What happens when electrons are coming initially from the anode to the cathode? Then copper 2 positive ions gain electrons, change to the neutral copper. So the positive copper ions decreases in the amount. If they decreases continuously, then positive charge here decreases. If positive charge decreases, the amount of concentration, the amount or the concentration of sulfate ion, or we can say the negative charge, continuously increases at that electrode. Negative charge increases like this. Negative charge increases. Negative charge increases means if electrons supposed to be come here, then negative there is a repulsion. No electron will be allowed to accept here. So no current will be flow through the wire. So what is the need to start its working again? Now we have to put a material or the another substance, another tube, which just make both the cells neutral by providing here negative charge and here positive charge. So we have to add inverted U tube here like this. That is the inverted U-tube, inverted U-tube. That inverted U-tube is known as salt bridge. That is called salt bridge. Salt bridge. That is our third point. Salt bridge. That is here not a salt bridge until we fill a substance. Which kind of substance? Jelly-like substance. Agar-agar based substance. Like KCl, KNO3, NaNO3. Which substance is filled here? A thick paste. Remember, a thick paste or agar-agar based medium is filled here. What is that substance? Neutral. It should be kept in mind that should be neutral. Okay. So what substance is filled here? That is agar-agar based like KCl, potassium chloride, KNO3, potassium nitrate, NaNO3, sodium nitrate, and ammonium chloride, NH4Cl as well. These substances may be filled in a inverted U-tube. These substances should be electrically neutral. When they are filled in a U-tube and put a cotton hair in its mouth and another end is packed, that inverted U-tube is said to be salt bridge. So, what is salt bridge? The inverted U-tube in which electrically neutral agar-agar based medium, or we can say the jelly-like thick substance, for example KCl, KNO3, NaNO3, NH4Cl are filled to maintain the electrical neutrality of the galvanic cell is known as salt bridge. Now let us see the definition of salt bridge. Salt bridge. It is also important. Salt bridge. It is an inverted U-tube. What is salt bridge? It is an inverted U-tube in which electrically neutral substance is filled with agar paste like KCl, KNO3, NaNO3, etc. is known as salt bridge. Salt bridge. It is an inverted U-tube in which electrically neutral substance is filled like KCl, KNO3, NaNO3, NH4Cl, etc. filled is known as salt bridge. This is the salt bridge here. If we remove the salt bridge from the galvanic cell, it stops working after few minutes. It doesn't work continuously. We want that our cell works continuously. Then we have to add that salt bridge. Why? What is the function of that salt bridge? Let us see. Functions of salt bridge. Functions of salt bridge. What salt bridge do during the reaction or in a galvanic cell? Number one, it maintain electrical neutrality during the reaction. Number one, it maintain the electrical neutrality during the reaction. How it maintains the electrical neutrality? As we discussed earlier, the concentration of zinc ions are continuously increases after losing the electrons. When zinc ions are continuously increases, then they starts to attract the electrons in reverse direction. Then cell stops working. If we add salt bridge like this here, then what happens during the reaction? Salt bridge suppose have the KCl. KCl is filled in it. KCl. KCl is split up into potassium ion and chlorine ion. The positive and negative charge are produced here. And the negative charged particles goes to the anode. In that electrolytes, that negative charge or electrons are just accepted by the zinc ion. When zinc ions accept the electrons or negative charge, they convert it to the zinc. So there is no accumulation of the charge here. Similarly, in case of cathode, what happens? Positive charge from potassium ion goes to the copper sulfate electrolyte. Here, negative charge concentration is increases. When positive charge goes here, then sulfate ions gets that positive charge and gets neutralized. So, electrical neutrality is maintained by the salt bridge. Next point. The function of salt bridge is maintains flow of electrons. Maintain flow of electrons. Salt bridge maintains flow of electrons. If positive charged zinc ions are here satisfied or gets neutralized by the negative charge of the salt bridge, then electrons are not attracted by the zinc ions, so they are free to move towards the cathode. Similarly, here no negative charge because positive charge is reached to sulfate ions gets neutralized. There is no positive charge accumulate, so there is no negative charge accumulate on the electrode, so electrons are here attracted. Okay, so there is a flow of electrons. Third and most important function of salt bridge is it reduces junction potential barrier. Third one is it reduces the junction potential barrier. Salt bridge reduces junction potential. If we add salt bridge to the galvanic cell, then it removes or reduces the junction potential barrier. After discussing the definition and functions of the salt bridge, in the end, we are going to discuss properties of the salt bridge. There are two properties. There are two most important properties. Number one, the material filled in the salt bridge, or we can say the salt bridge, must be inert. It should not react with any half cell. The material filled in the salt bridge must be inert, should not react with the half cell like anode or cathode. Means it should not react with the electrolyte of the anode or electrolyte of the cathode. It should be inert. That is the first property of the salt bridge. Second property of the salt bridge is the mobility of ions. Here potassium ion and chloride ions if KCl is filled, then the mobility of these ions should be same. Mobility of the cations and anions means positive and negative charge should be same. These 2 points should always be kept in your mind. These are the property of the salt bridge. Now, in the end, I hope you all understand the topic easily. If you have any problem, then you should contact your teacher or your elder brother and sister. Thanks.